Hello everybody. Okay, so today is the launch of the FoilPress machine. Actually, it went on live at 10 o'clock last night. Today is November 6th. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who commented on the unboxing video. I was able to post that. And yes, I will try to answer as many questions as I can for you guys. A lot of you I know are coming over from the HSN Crafters Facebook page, so I appreciate that. Any questions you have, this is going to be a several part series, so these videos might be a little lengthy. If you're new to my YouTube channel, what you can do is press on the right here 2 times and it will fast forward a few seconds. And if you miss something and you need to go back, press 2 times on your screen here and it will rewind a few seconds for you. If you have any comments or questions, you can go down and type them down below. I will have links in the video description from HSN on, sorry, not HSN, from Crafters Companion on their videos and their pages. Now, again, I do not work for HSN or Crafters Companion. They did send this to me to review. So I will try to give you as much information as I can from what I know. I've only had the machine for a couple weeks. I have been playing with it, but I am a crafter just like you guys. I do not work for HSN or Crafters Companion. They did send me the machine, which I'm very appreciative of, but I know there's a lot of questions out there. And you guys know I like to experiment things, so if I can try to experiment and find out for you, I certainly will do that for you. But anything that I try, if it's not recommended by Crafters Companion, I will tell you guys that. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. So anyway, let me show you some of the stuff that came in today. You guys already saw the unboxing of the FoilPress. So actually what I'm going to do, first thing you're going to do when you get the machine is plug it in, and on the side here, very important, turn that switch on. You'll hear it beep. That red light is going to turn green when we're ready to turn to heat up. So I turn the power on right there. That's red. We want that to be green. So while I'm showing you the other stuff, we're going to let that heat up. And this is the carbon fiber plate. I wish they sold extras of these. Now, I am using the Gemini Junior, which is off camera to the side here. Okay, so I do have that ready to go off to the side. From what I understand, if you have a full-size Gemini, you need an adapter plate which will protect all of this. I did hear Sarah say when she did hers that some people are putting some kind of heat-safe tape on here to kind of make this like a open and close thing, kind of like the Anna Griffinko press machine. I don't think I need to do that, but it's up to you. And they are selling these extra platforms for $59.95. And I don't know, I'll have to look up if it comes with the shims too, or if it's just the extra platform. So that's on hsn.com. But they started releasing some of the stuff a couple days ago. So some of the things that I got were the lace embossing folders. These are the 3D embossing folders. So this one's called Venetian lace, Chantilly lace, contemporary lace, and I like this one, cable knit. So I got some of those. I also got the larger butterfly die, so we'll be playing with this. And again, the ones that are gray are foil and cut dies. So what that means, I'll open this up for you guys. I think I'm going to turn the overhead light on. If the glare is bothering you guys, comment in the video down below and I won't use the overhead light, but I feel like it's a little dark. So there might be a little bit of a glare. Okay, so the dark gray ones are stamp and cut dies. And what that means is this outer area where it's a raised edge will cut. The rest of this butterfly will foil. So we're going to play with that. This came with it. This is just a regular foil stamp die. So it is just the regular matte silver in color. And the difference with this guy is that it will foil stamp the design. So it will foil stamp this design and emboss it, but it will not cut anything out. So the dark gray ones will cut and foil, The matte gray ones or silver ones will only hot stamp. So foil stamp dies versus foil stamp and cut dies. So remember that when you're looking these up. All right, and then these are some of the ones that I got with my machine. And I've started to move those over to a magnetic. So you can see these are the ones that cut. So let me show you this beautiful frame. This is one of the ones I got, this big guy here. So you can see when I foiled it, it cut, and I was using a piece of scrap paper, which is why that's cut off. But you can see it cut the inner part of the frame and the outer part of the frame, but it foiled it beautifully. Okay. All right, one of the other things I got that we're going to try out is this large background foil stamp die. This one is called Ornament Swirls. This is a heavy die. So again, this will just hot foil only. It does not cut anything out. It's just a background die. And remember, you don't have to have a foil press machine to use this. You can use this as a regular embossing plate as well. Having the foil press, there it's beeping and the lights turn green now. So, having the foil press is an added addition, but you can use this as a regular background die in your Gemini machine. All right, and then I did order a lot of the foils. So I got the two. These are the multi-surface rolls. The other ones I ordered today, they will be coming. So the multi-surface rolls, I believe, come in a pack of 4, which are called Brights, which I believe are these 4. So there is Holly Green, Cerise, Berry, and Turquoise. So red, green, fuchsia, and turquoise. I believe these are from the Brights collection, and they are multi-surface. Multi-surface, okay? So one thing I did like is that they do have 2 types of foils, and the way that you can tell the difference is look at the center of the roll. So these are the foils that came in my machine. They have a white roll, a white core. The multi-surface are craft core, so regular cardboard core. So multi-surface is a cardboard core. White is a paper is a white core. Multi-surface is a cardboard core. So these are the multi-surface foils. And then, so red, green, fuchsia, and turquoise. And then the other ones, these were the metallics, I believe. So for the metallics, I got some more silver, gold. They're calling this one Aurora, which is like a holographic, and rose gold. And again, these are also multi-surface foil rolls, which we will play with a little more later. And then I got a pack of these metallic waxes to try out. And I think these are also called Brights. I'm not sure. But they're like gilding wax, metallic wax. This one is red. And it is very much like the, what are those other waxes that I have? I can't think of the name of them right now. I'll get those down for you guys as well. So red, green, and turquoise came in this group. All right, we are not going to play with these items right now. We will get back to these. I just want to show you guys the basics of the machine at this point. For today's demonstration, I think I'm going to stick with the Crafter's Companions only items. I'm not going to get too heavy into using Anna Griffin or Toto dies. So these are Anna Griffin hot plates and Toto hot plates I have here. The Anna Griffin ones will work. The Couture, they're also called. Alright, so I have them in front of me here. So these are the Toto plates. I will do these in another video, but for today, for those of you just getting your machine, you just want to start out and say, okay, I want to get started. What do I do? We're just going to do the basics today. I'm just going to use the Crafter's Companion items. And this is the silver and the gold foil that came in with the machine. And as you can see, they have the white core, which means they are designed to be used with paper. Now, in terms of paper, I have some pre-cut paper here. This is just regular Neenah Solar White paper, which a lot of us card makers already have on hand. There is a little piece of tape holding the foil. I just kind of snipped that off. I don't really cut that piece off because if you're practicing with the machine and you just opened it up, don't throw any of that foil away. You just want to snip that off so your foil's open. Now, the first question everyone has asked is, can I use my other foils for this? Can I use my Mink foil, my Deco foil, my American Crafts foil? The answer is no. Okay, they're two different foiling systems. This is not the same as the Mink foiling system. The Mink foiling system is a foiling system using basically a laminator, which is what a Mink is, and using the pressure and the heat from that and allowing your foil to transfer onto a toner-based or a sticky-based adhesive. So all of the other foiling that's out there, I know we have the rub-on foils. That foil is designed to rub on, stick on, to toner-based, which is a laser printer designs, or adhesive rub-ons. Completely different foil. You cannot use traditional Mink foil, Anna Griffin foil, Deco foil, even my favorite foil from Creative Vision Stamps, Gina K foil. None of those foils will work with this system. This is a hot foil system. What hot foiling does is it takes your dies, any of your dies, and it heats them up, and through heat and pressure, this foil already has adhesive built into it. It will take that heat and it will adhere to your paper wherever you're trying to adhere it. What I like about the Crafter's Companion machine and why this is different from some of the other machines in the market, and I will do a comparison. Yes, I own the Toto machine, and yes, I own the Anna Griffin's Couture machine. The difference is those machines are designed for their die cutting system. This was designed for the Gemini and the Gemini Junior. The new Glimmer machine from Spellbinders, I have some of their foil as well. I don't have the machine, but I have their foil, so we'll be testing it out. I just noticed that my camera is like focusing by itself. That's weird. This foil should work. We're going to try it out, but this is the Glimmer hot foil system, which is designed for the Spellbinders system. The Spellbinders foiling system is designed to go through the Spellbinders machine. We have another one. This pack came with the Anna Griffin Couture machine. The Anna Griffin Couture machine is designed to go through the Cuttlebug die cutting machine. Toto foils. Toto is its own completely different machine. Theoretically, all of these foils should work in this machine. We will test all of them out through this video series. So I have Toto, I have Anna Griffin, which is Couture Creations, and I have Spellbinders Glimmer foil, and of course I have Crafter's Companion foil as well. So I'm going to try out different dies. I'm going to try out different foiling systems. We're going to try out different surfaces. There's a lot of things we're going to try to do that some of the other machines may be able to do that this machine doesn't do. Some of the things that this machine may be able to do that those other machines can't do. So anything you want to see, questions and comments down below, and I will try to help you out with that. But today, I think I'm just going to make this a basic 101. How are you going to use this machine when you get it home? So first step is you should really be using a Gemini or Gemini Junior. If you are using the regular Gemini Junior, like I have, whether you have the white or purple machine, does not matter. You're ready to go with what you have here and what comes in the box. If you have the full-size Gemini, which I do not have, from what I understand, this plate has a larger adapter to protect your Gemini and protect the plate. I do not know if you can use this system in the regular Gemini without that adapter plate, so I cannot answer that. I'm sorry. All right, back to this guy. So, first thing, plug him in, turn him on the side here. Okay, I'm going to just pre-cut a couple of pieces of foil here, and I think we're going to start with this medium kind of die here. Now, I've already said in the unboxing video that this machine is very light. A lot of you are going to say, I hate foiling. I don't have any good coverage with foiling. You know, I already have the Mink machine. Again, different from the Mink machine. The first advice I'm going to give you is when you have your foils, you want to take care of them. I do a lot of foiling with the Mink machine. This foil is on a little plastic transfer sheet. So, when your foil gets banged up and beat up, as you can see here, what happens is that foil rubs off of the backer sheet and you have missed spots of foil. So take care of your foil. The second thing is you want to be in a dust-free zone. Anything that you have, some of us have pets. I don't have any pets, but I know a lot of you guys have cats that roam around on your desk and things like that. You want to keep your area dust-free. So anything that could get dusty, get a Swiffer. This is just a large makeup brush. You want to make sure there is no dust or lint anywhere because that will affect how your foil adheres. And this is whether you're using this kind of system or any kind of foiling system. Okay? When that dust adheres, it causes mist spots again on your foiling. So keep your area wiped down. Use a microfiber cloth. Use a Swiffer cloth and just, you know, have a little brush by. Keep the dust and debris off of the area. This is what I would call a medium-sized die. And again, he's a specialty because he is a cut end foil. So we're going to put him on there. Again, this is on the low setting. Now this thing does get pretty warm. It's not super hot. It does come with these little finger protectors like mini hot gloves. I really don't use them too often because it's not too far from my Gemini. There is a little silicone mat that comes with it. You want to keep that on the side. And you have these little magnetic tweezers which help to pick up everything. Keep that on the side. The one thing you want to make sure that you have very close to you is the instruction booklet. Nothing we do in crafting is 100% of the time. It takes practice, and I guarantee once you learn this system, you're going to want to foil everything. As Sarah said on her description, this is your Bible. And right here, it's going to tell you what product you're using, foil stamp dies, foil stamp and cut dies, the type of paper you're going to be using, what temperature you should have it on. Most of these things are on low temperature, what time you should have them on, and then about the third page in are the actual sandwich instructions. Hot foiling with foil stamp dies, hot foiling with thin metal dies, and hot foiling with stamp and cut dies. So the first one we're doing is a stamp and cut die. And I'm going to say he's a medium-sized die. We're using regular paper, so this says medium die. Down here, stamp and cut die. Medium die, low temperature. We want to probably put him at about 45 seconds. So we're going to turn our timer on here. And I haven't used this die yet, so you guys are going through this. I've practiced a little bit with some of this, but we're going to see how this turns out. Okay, so 45 seconds. I have my die on there. I have him cutting side up. We want to keep our metal plate close to. Where is my metal plate? I'm going to turn this on, and there's a little lip here. You want to make sure your carbon fiber does not go over that lip. Keep it lined up with that lip. And keep that on there. I'm going to press start. Let that warm up for 45 seconds. It will beep when it's ready. And again, I know this foil is a little banged up, but we're going to use it anyway. So we have the colored side of the foil and the matte side of the foil. We always want to put, there's the beep, the colored side down on our image. So we're going to put the colored side down. Now we're going to put our paper down. Hopefully that's a big enough sheet. Now, because we're going to be cutting, think about your sandwich when you put it through the cutting machine. Whenever you do cutting, you want to use your metal shim. Now, mine's warped. I'll tell you why it's warped, because I did something I shouldn't have done. That's a video for another day, but for what you guys are going to do, you want to use your metal shim and then put your carbon fiber plate over it. And again, don't cross the line here. Now, I'm going to slide everything over and bring my Gemini in. This is as high up as I can move my camera, so we have to do a little finagling here. All right, so there you guys can see the little Gemini Junior, my bestest buddy. So we have our die, our foil, which is colored side down, our paper, we have our thin metal shim, which came with the machine, and our carbon fiber plate. Now we're just going to take him out. If you want to use your little hot gloves at this point, you can, but like I said, it's not super hot for me. And that's all we're going to do, feed it through. And hear it cutting. All right, now I'm going to plug this back in. Take our carbon fiber plate off, take our metal shim off. There you can see the paper has cut, which we've heard, and you can also see the dust. I'm going to take the die cut out first. Now there's a wrinkle in my foil. We'll see how it takes. Beautiful butterfly there. Now for, excuse me, any of the edges where it has what I call overfoiled. So on these edges here where the cut edges are, if that bothers you, it's very easy to just take an eraser. And I have this little mono sand eraser. And all of that foil will erase away. So you can see I erased the edges there. But just take an eraser to it. Okay. Now, this one came out pretty good. You can see here where the foil was wrinkled and it didn't foil there. Again, that's because I was using that wrinkled piece of foil. But I'm very pleased with this. I think this came out beautifully. And as I mentioned before, how many times have we all went out and spent money on buying foiled accents? Right? So this way you can make your own with dies. That's the foil and, the foil and cut die, right? So you guys want to see a regular die. So not the dark gray ones. Let me take this guy off. With these tweezers, if you close them, there's a magnet there. You can lift up the die, put it on your silicone mat, and then open and it will drop. So I'm just going to move this guy over here. Let him cool down a second. And we're going to use, this is the other, actually, you know what? Let's do the background one. That's just a regular one. Everybody wants to see this big guy, right? So we're going to put that down on the plate. And that's on. We need to find our instruction book, which is right here. Now, this is a regular foil stamp die. I would say he is large. Again, using regular cardstock. This says low temperature, but it only says 30 seconds. So let's see how 30 seconds does. We're going to turn our timer down here. Okay. I'm going to put my carbon fiber plate on there. I'm going to hit start. I'm just grabbing a regular piece of scrap cardstock here. Yeah, this tickle in my throat does not want to go away. Excuse me. Okay, I cut our foil. The beep is telling us our die is heated up and ready to go. We're going to lift our carbon fiber plate, put our foil colored side down. I'm going to put our regular piece of cardstock in there. Now, Because this is a regular die, we do not need the cutting plate, so we do not need the metal shim. We're just going to put our carbon fiber shim in there. We're going to take this out, and again, just going to run it through our Gemini. Pull it out. And again, see that little lip there? Make sure your carbon fiber plate is on this side of the lip. When I first got the machine, I noticed that it was kind of hanging up. You want to make sure it's on staying off the edge there. All right, so we're plugging that back in. Let's see how this did. Another thing for successful foiling is not to be impatient when revealing. When you rip your foil off, you are not giving it time to adhere. So you want to make sure that it's cooled down a little bit and then pull your foil off. It's stuck right there. Oh, there was something on my paper here, probably dust. There we go, it came right off. Okay, look at how beautiful that is. Come on, focus. There we go. That is spectacular. There is not one missed spot of foiling on there. Listen, guys, I don't work for them. I'm a crafter just like you guys. I don't have a husband, so I buy whatever I want. So I do have a lot of toys I probably shouldn't have in my craft room, like the Toto and the Anna Griffin and the mink. But if you're going to buy yourself something nice this Christmas, this is a beautiful machine to go with the Gemini. It really is. All right, so I did see Sarah's video where she said don't throw the foil away. Use it again, right? So let's take the plate off and move that over there. Let me grab another sheet of paper. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to have larger paper out. All right, so this is a little bit heavier cardstock, black paper, and see how this works out. Now, I know what she did was she put her foil down, right? And again, it's colored side down. We're going to put this black piece of cardstock, and then I think she recommended a shim just to give it some weight. So I have another piece of cardstock here because it doesn't have that die in there now to pressure it. So I'm just going to give this 10 seconds to heat up. I don't even know that it needs that much time. Let's just do 10 seconds on low setting. Slide this over. I may need another shim. I don't know if I have enough pressure in there to push that foil down. We'll see in a second. Yeah, I can tell already it didn't stick. There wasn't enough pressure. Let's try that again. I am going to put the back side of the plate down on there. That should give it enough pressure. Let's do another 10 seconds. So not the design part of the plate, but the flat side of the plate. Oops. All right, now that did not feed through, so let me see what I did here. I have a feeling it wasn't lined up right, so I'm going to reverse my machine. And I think it's because we have this plate on here. Let's try this again. There we go. Might have been too much pressure on that one. I wonder if I could have just used the rubber mat from the Gemini. That's probably, let's see here. And there it is. That is all the leftover foil from doing this piece onto this piece now. Now I think my sandwich might have been a little too heavy. I'll have to work on that, but it is possible. I'll have to look up and see how Sarah did hers on that. Probably just another couple shims of paper would have been best instead of using the back side of the plate. So I don't know that I would do that again because it was super tight. Okay, so that was just a regular foil and using the excess foil. And let's do one more with the little designer pieces. Move this one out of the way. Okay, that's the machine beeping and telling us that it's at the right temperature. Okay, so keep that on there. And this has been getting foiled up for me. I really haven't had a problem with it transferring or anything. Just try to put a piece of paper on there as your shim to try to keep the foil off of there. I'm just going to use this little, we have two little butterfly dies. We'll use both of those. And these are little, and we're going to just use regular paper, and they're regular little dies. They're not, actually, we have a little sentiment. We could do that. Let's do that. So we have one butterfly, we have a thank you, and then we have the other butterfly. So arrange them how we want them. Put our little carbon fiber plate on. Low setting, 10 seconds. Going to hit start. Just going to cut a little piece of paper here, or foil. And again, colored side down. Put your paper where you want it. Put your carbon fiber plate on top. And we don't have to heat it up again. We're just going to take it out and run it through our Gemini. All right, so See where there's a little bit of extra foil there and there? That's called overfoiling. That means it was left on too long or was too hot. Now, because we just did a very large piece, I have a feeling that I did leave it on too long trying to cut everything out. And because of the large piece we did, probably overheated it. That's called overfoiling. So whenever you see excess foil around your design, cut back your heat, your temperature, your timing, and try it again after it's cooled down. It's not really too bad because these little pieces here I can erase with an eraser. But you can see it did foil pretty nicely. And I would just use a die cut and cut this out. And honestly, little mistakes like that show that this was a handmade card. Whoever you're going to give this to, they're not going to think you went and bought this card. You can actually say, yeah, I made it. See the mistakes in there? You think Walmart's going to sell you a card with a mistake in it? Hallmark, wherever? No, I made that mistake. So sometimes the little things like that show that it's handmade. It's okay. Don't get frustrated. I would still use this piece. I would die cut it and still stick it on a card and use it. I might use it and maybe die cut this out if it bothered me that much, but the rest of this is fine. All right. So the big question is, everybody keeps asking is, can I use regular dies in this machine? And the answer is, why would you want to do that? No, the answer is yes. All of the dies you already have are going to work in this machine. So you've seen the ones specifically made, the cut and foil, the hot stamp foil. These all work, right? Okay, now let's see something you got already in your stash. Because if you didn't buy a lot of dies and you want to know what am I going to use now, do I have to go buy all these Crafter's Companion dies? The answer is no, you do not. So I'm going to show you. Here is one of the new Winter Wonderland edgeables. Here's the happy birthday one I did. I'm trying not to show you guys some of the failed experiments I did here. I just want to show you the good ones. Here's happy birthday where I overfoiled it. See that? All right, here's some of the smaller butterflies. And I used other companies' foils with these, trying them out. So you can see how this one did not come out as well. It's missing some spots. But here it is again, and it came out much better. Here it is with the Crafter's Companion foil. How much money do we spend on buying these kinds of die cuts? And now we can make our own. Here is their beautiful tree die, which I'm not going to show you today, but let me show you. There's another butterfly. Perfectly foiled. This was on day one of me getting the machine that I made these little butterflies. Okay, here's what I wanted to show you. Here's another happy birthday with a different company's foil. And I will do a foil comparison video as part of this series. All right, so this Edgeables die, Winter Wonderland Edgeables die, is a regular die. So if you were going to cut this through your Gemini, this is what you would get. It would cut out all of these beautiful shapes. Beautiful. But it is not just for die cutting anymore. Once you own the Gemini FoilPress machine, any die you own, any thin metal die, you can make into a foil design. So here are the ones that I've made. Here's using the gold, and I'm going to demonstrate this to you guys, so don't worry. Here's using a green foil, and here's using a blue foil. Very delicate of the lines, but we don't want to cut it out. We just want to foil with it, right? Here's another example. This is their tree die. Beautifully intricate cut tree die, but I don't want to cut it out. I want to make it a foil. Here is in a kind of green foil. I know it's hard to see, but it is very intricate. It's detailed. And here it is on their beautiful pearlescent cardstock in gold. Look how gorgeous that is. If that doesn't look like you went in and spent $5 minimum at Hallmark and bought it, that right there, you make 10 of these, you've paid for the machine by itself. Look how gorgeous that is. So I'm going to show you how to do this with the regular Edgeables die. Any die that you have. We're going to put that on the machine. And we're going to give that 10 seconds to heat up because that's a pretty small die. And again, we want to read our machine. This is just a regular foil die. And it also tells you here paper craft rolls or multi-surface rolls. So your multi-surface rolls and what you're using it on, leather, fabric, that's a completely different story. We're just doing regular, what comes in the machine today. And I think actually I'm going to use a piece of this black cardstock. We'll just use that, and we're going to switch over to some silver foil, because after all, it is snowflakes. Alright, so we're going to turn this guy on for 10 seconds. Let that warm up. We have our paper. We're going to put our foil shiny side down. Because this is silver, we have a shiny side and a matte side. We want the shiny side down. We're going to put our paper down. Now, if you put your metal plate on here, what's going to happen? It's a die that's designed for die cutting. If you put your metal plate on here, you're not going to get foiling, you're going to get a die cut. So you do not want the metal shim unless you are cutting. We're not cutting today, we're just foiling. So we're just going to put our carbon fiber plate on. Slide this over. Let's see how it did with just a regular die. Look how pretty that is on dark paper. And that's just using the cutting edge of the die. If I run this through my Gemini, let's do that. Let me show you guys. I have my Gemini plates here. So I have my cutting plate. I'm going to use the same piece of paper so you can see it edge to edge. Cutting plate, my magnetic shim to hold it in place, my milky plate, and my top cutting plate. Let's just run that through the Gemini. Cuts like butter. Only have a couple pieces to pick out there. This is why it's my best friend. The best friend I could ever ask for in my crafting room. Okay, there it is. So now you have two purposes for your dies. You can cut with them, beautiful edge design, or you can foil with them. Any dies that you have will work. Thin metal dies. Okay? Okay, guys, so I think this video has gone on for 40 minutes. It's long enough. I've showed you the basics. So again, you have 3 different kind of dies. You have the gray dies are your cut and foil dies. So these will cut along the outline edges here, and they will foil where the flatter designs are. So you have the cut and foil dies. Then you have your foil stamp dies, which are the regular silver ones. So this guy, this guy, this guy, the big background, these guys. These are regular foil stamp dies. That means that what will happen is they will heat up and they will transfer the foil, but they will not cut. Only the gray ones cut. So this guy is going to cut and foil. And then you have regular dies, the dies you have in your collection already. You can use those dies as long as you do not put it through the cutting plate. Wherever that edge is, that's what it will foil for you. So 3 different dies. The only time you want to use your metal shim is when you are cutting. If you are not using the cutting part, you don't need the metal shim. So basically the metal shim is only going to be used with the gray ones. So the gray guys, you want to use the metal shim. Okay? And then again, you want to read your little book, your instructions on what size the die is, what are you using to stick it to, and what type of die are you using. The sandwiches, I keep sticking this to this. This is the 3rd one I've stuck to this book. The sandwiches are on the 3rd page, right here. And the only thing you really need to remember is if you're going to be cutting, to use your metal shim. The other 2 go through the exact same way. Okay, so 43 minutes, guys, long enough. If you have any questions, post them down below. I do believe the machine shuts off after 25 minutes of use as well. You just shut it off and let it cool down. I'm going to be doing more experiments with this machine. Again, we're going to be using other manufacturers' dies. We're going to use other manufacturers' foil. I have more foil coming from Crafter's Companion, so we'll be using those as well. If you like this video, I appreciate the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, down in the bottom corner here, I will put a little bubble which you can click on, and then click the bell to get notified when I post a new video, so you guys will have an idea where we're at. And again, any questions or comments, post them down below. I always appreciate them. And again, I will try to help you guys out in any way that I can. Thank you guys for watching, and keep on stamping. Bye.